Okay. Oh, mic's not turning on. It's not turning on. Are you running mics on too?
Don't screw it up.
Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the retirement ceremony for Chief Petty Officer Kamesha L. McCarthy. I am Chief Kaya Tootle, and it is my honor to be your master of ceremony today. Chief McCarthy and her family are pleased to have you. The ceremony will begin shortly. Guests who desire to take pictures, we are welcome to move about freely. At this time, we ask that you please silence your phones and personal electronic devices. Please note this will be a mass ceremony, and it's required to be worn during the duration of the ceremony. Military personnel not in attendance are not a part of the official party should remain uncovered. Will the guests and participants please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the national anthem, Virgin Island anthem, and invocation. Post the side, boys. Indianapolis, arriving. Chief Petty Officer, United States Navy, arriving. Color Guard, parade the colors.
Burn me alive.
Color guard, retire the colors. Our invocation will now be delivered by Chief Nicholas.
May we all bow our heads. Mark chapter 10, verse 45 says, "For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve." Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you in thankfulness for the 21 years of service given by our sister and friend who is retiring. We thank you for the long-term contribution she has made in the execution of daily tasks and her loyalty to this great organization. We are appreciative of her hard work and dedication. She has adapted to many changes over the years and has made sacrifices of her personal time when the job demanded it. She has been a mentor and friend to the Chief's Mess and her sailors, despite her own obligations, joys, and challenges. We pray your continued blessings on her during this next phase of life. May your presence be with her and her family as they choose new paths and explore new horizons. May they be blessed with strong networks, friends, and family to enjoy the journey that lies ahead. Today we leave them with this blessing from the book of Matthew. Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things, and come share your master's happiness. In your name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Chief Nicholas. Bosun, retire the side boys. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Good morning. So we are gathered here today to celebrate Chief McCarthy's military service. The ceremony you're about to witness has a long history. In the late 1700s, the U.S. Navy set sail to new ideals, new goals, and a desire to build traditions that would last through the test of time. The U.S. Navy led the way to providing honors for crewmen. The 1800s saw enlisted men holding retirements for enlisted men for the first time. The captain would allow jolly boats to take the enlisted retiree ashore. Then, after the Civil War, commanding officers would hold enlisted retirement ceremonies to show the crew that he and the Navy recognized the contribution of enlisted sailors. We're gathered here today to continue this tradition and witness the final stage of a very honorable and productive 21-year military career. We're also gathered to say thank you to this great shipmate. Thank you for the many contributions which, in her own unique way, have made our Navy a stronger and more capable force in our never-ending fight for peace in sometimes troubled world. Thank you for being the type of leader that has ensured next generation of sailors are ready to meet the challenges of tomorrow. Just as this is the end of one phase in your life, it's also the beginning of another. So our gathering today also gives us the opportunity to wish you every success in the future as you look forward to new challenges and rewards. I would also like to thank the distinguished guests, friends, and family of Chief McCarthy, and the men and women of the USS Indianapolis. Thank you for taking a few moments out of your day to bid farewell to our fellow shipmate. Last but certainly not least, I would like to extend my especially warm welcome to Kamesha's son, Aiden. I know that you, more than any one of us, are vividly aware of the sacrifices that your mom has made in the service of our country. I speak for all of our shipmates when I say how pleased we are that we have you here today. Commander Ford will now deliver the opening remarks.
Thank you, Chief. Welcome, everyone. First of all, I just want to say thank you for being here and sharing this moment with us. I know a lot of you traveled a very long way to be here, so thank you for that. It means a lot to us, not just me and Kamesha, but all the rest of the crew too, that you could come and take part in this ceremony with us, so thank you for that. It's a beautiful day outside. beautiful Florida day. And I think it's very befitting for this ceremony that we have such a beautiful day to do it in. I also think it's befitting and reflects the 21-year stellar career of this fine sailor standing over my left shoulder. I couldn't be more proud of you, Kamesha. Thank you so much for what you've done for us. I just wanted to say a few words. I'll keep it brief. Some of you know I can be overly verbose at times, but I sat down with Chief McCarthy for probably a good hour before she checked out and left the command for good. And that's always a bittersweet time for me when I'm, talking to my sailors for one of the last few times. So I just asked her about her journey in the Navy and some of the things she's seen and done, and it was actually a pretty fascinating discussion. She joined the Navy on October 30th, 2000, 21 years ago. The world was a very different place then. That was before 9/11, long before we ever heard of COVID, right? The world's changed a lot. Society's changed. Ideas about right and wrong continue to culminate. But she stood steadfast for 21 years in service of her nation, and I want to recognize her for that. I wrote down a few of the things that she talked to me about, and so I'd just like to share a couple of them with you briefly. She went to a comm stay, definitely did her time at shore duties doing communications type stuff, but one of the things she brought up to me was an IA that she did that's like a special assignment overseas in Djibouti. And during that time, she got to spend 2 months downrange in Ethiopia. And she also told me how fascinating it was for her when she was going through an Ethiopian village to see some of the young women of that village come look at her in uniform. It was the first time they had seen an African-American female military service member, and it obviously struck them. So they were fascinated by that, and she was very honored to be a part of them seeing it and talk to them about that. She's done 3 different ships. She's done strike groups, NICTAMs, and other things throughout her career, culminating obviously being here on Indianapolis. She got to meet then Senator Barack Obama before he was ever president. I think that's pretty cool. She also had her ESWAS pin, and those of you in uniform know how important the pinning is for ESWAS. That's a big achievement in your career. She had it done by then her CMC, who was Joe Campa. And for anyone who's been around a while, you know he went on to be the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, MCPON. So that's an awesome honor. It's pretty cool, too. Anyways, I just share a couple of those things with you because I always ask them to look back and reflect on what they've done. I asked her if she had any regrets, and she only mentioned one, and that was not having the time to spend with you, Aiden. So I passed that on to you. Your sacrifice of sharing your mother with us so that she could help us do what we do is something I can never repay you for. I appreciate it. All right, so that being said, I just want to end on this note. During her 21 years, she did some very amazing things. She saw some amazing places and met some pretty fascinating people. But all of it was with sacrifice. She gave up her time with her family. She gave up her own time in order to work hard and to help the Navy succeed in defense of our nation. I always tell my sailors, legacy is about what we leave with our sailors. To me, there's nothing more important in life than relationships and legacy. I'm also finding as I get more senior, and I'm close to retirement myself now, that I get just as much legacy from all of you as you get from me. And I just want to thank you for the legacy that you left with me, Kamesha, and for the honor and sacrifice that you served with for 21 years. So thank you very much for that. You have left a legacy to be proud of, and I think I speak for everyone here when I tell you that we couldn't be more honored to be standing here at your retirement ceremony today. Fair winds and following seas, shipmate. We're going to miss you. Please give her a hand.
Thank you, Commander Ford. It gives me great pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker for the ceremony, ITC Quilla Franklin.
Good morning, everyone. Navy Chief? Navy Pride. Navy Chief? Navy Pride. Welcome guests, Commanding Officer, Executive Officer, Command Master Chiefs, officers, chiefs, and the entire crew of the USS Indianapolis. Aiden, moms, dad, LaShawn, Kiana, Devon, family and friends that traveled from all over to be here. St. Thomas and the VI, New York, Texas, thank you. It's truly an honor to have the opportunity to speak about Chief McCarthy. She has been my friend for over 15 years. We have so many fond memories as young women, finding our way in life and in the Navy. When she first told me that I was going to be her guest speaker, yes, she told me. She did not ask. I immediately thought, oh my gosh, it's time for retirement already? We're getting old. Let me put that on my calendar so I don't forget. I started brainstorming about what to talk about. It came so easy. I began writing about so many great times over the years. I recalled the first time we met, checking in on board Stripe U6 here in Mayport. We were newly appointed E5s, gearing up for a deployment. As I got into the details of the story, I paused. And then I thought, this particular story may not be the most appropriate for this setting. I kept brainstorming. Then I recalled another time we were actually deployed in the Horn of Africa. And after weeks, I mean weeks, of no liberty, we finally got a chance to venture out in town. I continued to write. And as I got into the details of the story, I stopped. This time, I clutched my pearls and I yelled, redacted. This story is not for public consumption. I didn't give up though. I kept on brainstorming. I recalled another time we were out to sea. The ship pulled into Cambodia. Cambodia, beautiful. As I continued to write, reminiscing in more detail about the experience there, I stopped, clutched my pearls, redacted. This story certainly belongs out to sea. I finally gave up and I decided to go into a different direction. I started brainstorming again, this time with a renewed focus on not just the great times we had, but what actually makes her a great person. She's a daughter, and from what I've heard, a very good one. But I'm sure her parents would probably also add in, she can be a bit stubborn and stern. She's a sister, and from what I've heard, a very good one. But I'm sure her siblings might also add in, she can be a bit stubborn and stern. She's a mother, a very good one. This I know, that loves Aiden with every fiber of her being and will walk to the end of the earth just to make sure he knows it. And I'm sure he may also add in, she can be a bit stubborn, sometimes strict, and certainly stern. She's a friend, but a very good one. But I'm sure most of her friends, myself included, would also add in, well, y'all see where I'm going with this. I've never actually heard her recite any profound Navy philosophies. I have always admired her stern and stubborn approach that translated to firm adherence to naval standards, the ability in getting the basics right, and staying the course. She is such a giving person. She's a sailor. She's a chief petty officer in the world's finest Navy. It's the only rank in our military that truly, truly makes us earn our anchors. Utilizing your talents and leaving a legacy is something we all desire to do. The fact that you all are here to celebrate her is a true testament that she has succeeded. The Navy is a better place because of her efforts. I can only hope to have the same impact when my time comes. My final tribute is to say that such is the strength of the foundation that she has maintained and laid, that I believe we can all face the future with confidence as your fellow brothers and sisters relieve you. You have deployed enough. You have spent months away from Aiden and family enough. You have sacrificed more than enough. Now it's time to go ashore for the very last time. Kamesha, it's time to start checking off your retirement bucket list. Now, I didn't list everything. Land that easy civilian job that renders you non-essential and not in charge. Take a vacation as often as you like. Get your big old hat and head to the Kentucky Derby. And most importantly, attend Carnival every single year from now on, cruise in hand, of course. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Franklin. Commander Ford will now present Chief McCarthy's Retirement Award. Chief Petty Officer McCarthy, front and center. Will the guests please rise? Attention to award. Department of the Navy, this is to certify that the Secretary of the Navy has awarded Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal, Gold Star in lieu of second award, to Chief Information Systems Technician Kamesha L. McCarthy, United States Navy, for meritorious service while serving as Chief Information Systems Technician aboard USS Indianapolis from June 2007 to December 21, sustaining a 100% compliance record for Chief McCarthy's exceptional management, earned Indianapolis the Surf Force Atlantic Cyber Excellence Award over 4 consecutive months on haul. Her focus on training, development, and implementation of Combat Systems Department routines, practices, and procedures ensured Indianapolis' successful commissioning, sail around, and completion of sea trials. As the ship's most trusted combat systems officer of the watch, her expertise in rapid response kept Indianapolis safe through more than a dozen restricted water transit. Chief McCarthy's exceptional service professionalism and dedication to duty highlights a successful career of 21 honorable United States Naval Service. Given this 22nd day of October 21, signed, T.S. Stevens, Captain, United States Navy.
Let's give her a round of applause.
Will the guests please be seated? Commander. Sorry. Also got letters of appreciation. Commander Ford will also present multiple letters of appreciation to Chief McCarthy. Please hold your applause until all letters have been presented. Letter of appreciation from the Governor of the State of New York. State of New York Executive Chamber Certificate of Appreciation presented to Chief Petty Officer Kamesha L. McCarthy. In honor of your 21 years of service, United States Navy, and bravery and dedication have made you a tremendous inspiration to us all. On behalf of all New Yorkers, thank you for your unwavering devotion to duty and all that you have done to keep us safe. We are forever grateful for your service. Awarded this 6th day of October in the year of 2021, Kathy Hochul, Governor. So next we have a letter of appreciation from the Governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands. On behalf of the people of the U.S. Virgin Islands, I extend our warmest congratulations and best wishes to Chief Petty Officer Kamesha L. McCarthy on her retirement from the U.S. Navy following 21 years of distinguished service. The Virgin Islands community beams with pride knowing that Chief Petty Officer McCarthy has represented us throughout her military career. She upheld the standard of excellence while steadily rising through the ranks, from information systems technician to the Assistant Joint Fleet Telecommunications Center Watch Officer. We could not be prouder of her achievements. Further, we are eternally grateful to Chief Petty Officer McCarthy and her family, especially her son Aiden, for the sacrifices made to serve this great nation, on shore and at sea, including a tour in Djibouti, Horn of Africa, in support of Operation Enduring Freedom, and to protect the freedoms we cherish. We pray that this next chapter is just as rewarding. May God continue to bless Chief Petty Officer McCarthy and her family. May God bless these beloved U.S. Virgin Islands. Signed, sincerely, Albert Bryan, Jr., Governor. So next we have a letter of appreciation from the McMahon. Dear Chief McCarthy, you have tirelessly served our Navy over the past many years in selfless dedication to a life of service that few of our nation have been willing to shoulder. It is my sincere honor and privilege to congratulate you on this truly memorable day, as we stop all engines and lay about smartly to recognize you and your family upon your retirement from the United States Navy. In our service, there's a saying, officers run the Navy. However, Chief Petty Officers make it run. Chief, you made the Navy run. Throughout your career, you understood the importance of nurturing the talent, strength, and leadership abilities of each of our sailors, thus ensuring our Navy maintained its edge as the greatest Navy in the world. As a Chief Petty Officer, neither your life nor career were easy. Others' needs always superseded your own, and you always sought to further team goals, never looking for accolades. Often overlooked, but never undervalued, the greatest strength of the Chief is to be quiet yet powerful. Yet powerful present that, simply put, makes it happen. This you accomplish with rare good grace. As we render honors today, posting the side boys and piping you ashore one final time, bidding farewell to our shipmate, please accept my personal gratitude for all of your sacrifices. Your strength in service and personal commitment to the entire Navy family truly made a significant impact. I wish you and your family all the best wishes. Sincerely, Russell L. Smith, Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy. Will Chief John Jules please escort the parents of Chief McCarthy to the front? To all who see these presents greeting, Alenton Stevens, Jocelyn Joseph, Valerie Millen. Today, after completing over 21 years of active naval service, your daughter has ended a career of honorable and faithful service to her country, and her efforts are sincerely appreciated. Such a rich and rewarding career reflects the strong commitment to the principles of freedom and democracy, and the belief that they must be upheld at any cost. That type of total commitment is not possible without the full support of the entire family. Although you may have never had to carry out a military order or deploy into hostile waters, your loyalty and steadfast support of your daughter's career can rightly be viewed as a service to your country. That loyalty and dedication were significant courses of strength for your daughter during arduous duty and exemplified highest traditions of patriotism. On behalf of a grateful nation, the Department of the Navy, and officers and enlisted sailors of USS Indianapolis, I extend to you a sincere thanks and express our appreciation for a job well done. Given this 22nd day of October, 2021, Larry R. Ford, Commanding Officer, United States Navy. Will Chief John Jules please escort Chief McCarthy's parents to their seats? Chief McCarthy's got some goodies she wants to present to her parents. Chief Petty Officer Brooks will now read You Serve Too.
Every morning, your mother donned her uniform, put on her cover, secured her cat, packed her bag, and laced her boots. And with a kiss goodbye, you couldn't go, but you served too. She missed your school performance. She wasn't there for Christmas. She missed your sports games and your karate competitions. She had to cheer your achievements from a distance. She was gone when you needed her most, doing what sailors do. She was away serving the red, white, and the blue. You didn't wear the uniform, but you served too. You let her go for our freedom of speech, our right to vote. Aiden, you let her go, praying she will always come back home to you. You couldn't go, but you served too. When you see the flag, you feel the respect. When you hear the anthem, you know the words of bravery. You've longed for this day when you get to keep your mom. Aiden McCarthy, front and center. Aiden, you may not wear the uniform, but you serve too. Chiefs, past and present, on your feet. Cover. 2. Aiden, we the Chiefs mess, thank you for your service. Chiefs, hand salute. Ready, 2. Navy Chief.
Make it proud!
Navy Chief.
Make it proud!
Hoo-yah.
Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Navy. To all who see these presents greeting, Aiden McCarthy, today after completing over 21 years of service, your mother has ended a career of honorable and faithful service to your country, and her efforts are sincerely appreciated. Such a rich and rewarding career reflects a strong commitment to the principles of freedom and democracy, and the belief that they must be upheld at any cost. That type of total commitment is not possible without the full support of the entire family. Although you may have never had to carry out military order and deploy into hostile waters, your loyalty and steadfast support of your mother's career can rightly be viewed as a service to your country. That loyalty and dedication were significant courses of strength for your mother during her arduous duty and exemplified the highest traditions of patriotism. On behalf of a grateful nation, the Department of Navy, and the officers and enlisted sailors of USS Indianapolis, I extend to you a sincere thanks and express our appreciation for a job well done. Given this 22nd day of October, 2021, Larry R. Ford, Commander, U.S. Navy, Commanding Officer, USS Indianapolis Blue. You may all be seated. Will Chief Petty Officer Lee please escort Patrice McCarthy to the front? Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Navy. To all who shall see these presents greetings, Patrice McCarthy. Today, after completing over 21 years of active naval service, Chief Petty Officer Kamesha L. McCarthy has ended a career of honorable and faithful service to her country, and her efforts are sincerely appreciated. Such a rich and rewarding career reflects a strong commitment to the principles of freedom and democracy, and the belief that they must be upheld at any cost. That type of total commitment is not possible without the full support of the entire family. Although you may have never had to carry out a military order or deploy into hostile waters, your loyalty and steadfast support of Chief McCarthy's career can rightly be viewed as service to your country. That loyalty and dedication were significant courses of strength for her during arduous duty and exemplified the highest traditions of patriotism. On behalf of a grateful nation, the Department of the Navy, and the officers and enlisted sailors of USS Indianapolis, I extend to you a sincere thanks and appreciation for a job well done. Given this 22nd day of October 2021, Larry R. Ford, Commander, USS Navy, USS Indianapolis. Chief Lee, you can now escort Patrice to her seat. Senior Chief Petty Officer Ryan Cook will now read the Chief Petty Officer Retirement Creed. Thank you, Commander Ford.
Chief Petty Officers, past and present. Attention on deck. Cover 2. Misha, you have on this day experienced that which comes to all of us who serve on active duty in our Navy. I say our Navy because your departure from active duty in no way terminates your relationship. By law and tradition, U.S. Navy retirees are always on the rolls, ever ready to lend their service when the need arises. The respect that you earned as the Chief was based on the same attributes that you will now carry into retirement. You should have no regrets. Do not view your retirement as an end of an era, but rather as orders to a new and challenging assignment, to a form of independent duty. Remember well that you have been and will always be an accepted member of the most exclusive of all fraternities. The active duty chiefs salute you. Hand salute. Ready, toot. And retired chiefs welcome you. I wish you the traditional fair winds and following seas. Navy Chief! Navy Pride! Navy Chief! Navy Pride! Navy Chief! Navy Pride! Hoo-yah! Hoo-yah!
You may all be seated. Station, the flag detail.
Flag detail, attention. Right face, forward, march.
I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over great institutions of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up and see me. Stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident. I am arrogant. I am proud. When I'm flown, my fellow banners, my head is a little higher, my colors a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped. I am saluted. I am respected. I am revered. I am loved and I am feared. I have fought in every battle and every war more than 200 years. Gettysburg, Shiloh, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Aragon Forest, Anzio, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, Guam, Okinawa, Tarawa, Korea, Vietnam, the Persian Gulf, and scores of places long forgotten by all except those who were with me. I was there. I led my soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. I followed them and watched over them. They loved me. I was on a small hill in Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-worn and tired, but my soldiers cheered me and I was proud. I was at Ground Zero in New York City on September 11th as cowardly fanatics attacked America. I was raised from the ashes, once proud buildings and brave firefighters, heroes who risked their lives to save others, showing all that America, although bloodied, will never be beaten. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of my own country, and when it is by those whom I have served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the surely bonds of earth, and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand and watch over the uncharted frontiers of space. I have seen a silent witness to all of America's finest hours, but in my finest hour comes when I am torn into strips to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle. When I fly half-mast to honor my soldiers, and when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving mother at the gravesite of her fallen son or daughter, I am proud. My name is Old Glory, long may I wave. I wave, dear God, long may I wave.
Flag detail, post.
Forward, march.
This flag was flown from the flagstaff of USS Frank Cable, USS Indianapolis, and half-mast at the Governor's House of the U.S. Virgin Islands in honor of the late U.S. Secretary of State, Colin L. Powell. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Chief Petty Officer, Information System Technician, Kamesha L. McCarthy. One thing I gotta say, we all know Kamesha in here. We know one thing, she's always prepared. The other thing, she's always a bag of water. So this time, Misha, don't worry about it. I got you.
Okay. How do I follow all of that? Good afternoon, and thank you all for coming. No. Thanks for all of the kind words. Thanks for making me cry when I said please not to. 21 years. As of October 7th, I've completed 21 years in the United States Navy. 21 years. Like truly, how did I last this long? You may not believe this, but I've been working on this speech since April. When I made my final decision to have this ceremony. I wasn't gonna do a ceremony, I was just gonna exit, but I decided to do it. But those who know my crazy probably know and believe that I've been working on this long. So thanks to my boy Jay, who coordinated all of this, and my therapist, for helping me with this decision. And no trust, my therapist is here because I'll definitely need a session right after this. Won't I, Kaya? Now, where do I begin? I guess the beginning, right? Picture it. Bronx, New York, the year 2000. I get that from the Golden Girls. I love the Golden Girls. I was attending college and working in a salon at the time. Unbelievable, right? Me in college and working in a salon, but it's true. When my cousin asked me to join the Navy with her, I wasn't doing anything, so I said, sure, just like that. She actually brought 5 of us into the Navy, the best career recruiter the Navy never had. I say that because, unfortunately, she chose to go the civilian route, but thank you to Kwana for the best 21 years of my life. Just from looking out into the crowd and knowing those who are online on my YouTube channel, I feel so loved and appreciated. Outside of my family, there is representation from every command I ever served, all 6, 21 years, 6 commands. From my first chief on my first ship, all the way to my chief's mess, division, and commanding officer of my current and final ship. I have no choice but to feel special right about now. Thank you all for either participating or just being here with me physically and online. I can only imagine what this room would look like if we were in a pandemic right now. They say it takes a village to raise a child. And this, all of you, about first 3 rows, are my village. Trust, there are more watching online. How you all raised me, both individually and collectively, has instilled the morals and values within me to be very successful in this organization. The Navy core values are honor, courage, and commitment. Is that not what you all taught me before I even entered the Navy? For that, I say thank you, because not everyone is taught that and held to those standards. Thank you. Speaking of raising children, outside of the young adults I mentored and guided in the Navy, especially the ones you saw here before you, that's my division. I have the pleasure of being a mother to the most phenomenal kid in the world, my son Aiden, AKA the Kid. No joke, this kid has given me no issues. No pregnancy issues, no labor issues. Even when time for his birth, no issues. After my second push, he flew out so fast the doctor had to catch him like a football. The only issue I had with this kid is the fact that I had to leave him behind temporarily to finish my career. I first left him in 2011 at the age of 3. For 3 years physically with my mom, Valerie, and with the support of my dad, Allington, stepmom, Joyce, and sister, LaShawn, in New York, when I took orders to the USS Blue Ridge out of Yokosuka, Japan. Thank you. Before I continue, know this. There are certain genuine people put into your life without knowing the rhyme or reason. This one person in particular and I first crossed paths as teenagers, became acquaintances, and due to an outside relationship, grown to be not only friends, but family. This person took on the responsibility of caring for my son Aiden with no hesitation or reservation in 2014. By this time, he was 6, and agreed to continue doing so up to when I retire for nothing in return. That's a total of 7 years. I'm standing here today, able to retire, and have not had to claim hardship as a single mom because of you, Patrice. Patrice, you are a godsend, and I appreciate all you've done, not only for me, but also for Aiden. Thank you. So if you all did the math, my son has not been with me physically for the past 10 years, the way a child should be with their mother. And through it all, he has been no issue to anyone who has had to care for him in my absence. He's well-mannered, maintains great academic and athletic achievements, and is very patient and understanding with the situation he was placed into. Aiden, I've said this to you many times, but know that all I did and sacrificed is all for you and your future. I love you. Now back to how did I last this long? Let this be an explanation to my family and another mentoring session for my junior sailors. Just as it's always been said, no one on this earth is perfect. I joined the Navy at the age of 19. I was that young adult who loved to party and drink, when legal, of course. I was that junior sailor who thought certain things didn't make sense. I was that defiant sailor who wanted to do things my way. And along the way, I've made mistakes. Know that there is life after a counseling chit. I've had a few. There is life after a disciplinary review board. I've been to a couple. And there is life after captain's mast or non-judicial punishment. I've gone through one. There is life after any situation looked upon negatively. It's all about how you push forward and redeem yourself. All of that is a part of growth. But it's only growth if you're learning from all that you do, good or bad, and pushing yourself to be better. Learn from your mistakes and leave them as mistakes. Don't let them evolve into bad habits. Behind every situation is an experience and a lesson. With the help of great leaders and mentors, I was able to redeem myself, get my perspectives in order, and straighten out my priorities. I then took those experiences and lessons and used them to be the leader and mentor you see standing here today. As the Bible states in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. And it only feels right that now is the time for me to hang up my uniform and complete my naval career. Thank you all, those present here with me and those online, for taking the time to share this great milestone with me. Thank you, and God bless.
A fine sword, a brace of pistols, a rifle or a musket, or maybe a sea chest of fine wood bound in brass, was presented to remind the retiree of crews and ships she has served with. Senior Chief Austin and Chief Petty Officer Crockett will present Chief McCarthy's retirement shadow box on behalf of Indianapolis Blue Chief Petty Officer Association. Chief McCarthy, your retirement shadow box depicts your career achievements in the United States Navy. It includes your many personal awards and the uniform devices indicating the ranks you progressed through as you worked your way up the advancement ladder. Inside, you'll find your career history listing, where you served and left your mark. The symbol of the U.S. Virgin Islands is included to represent the heritage you've upheld throughout your career. Additionally, in the top corner, you'll find the national flag, symbolic of the nation you have faithfully served during your 21 years of active duty. Chief Petty Officer Crockett will now present Chief McCarthy with the gift.
One last prescription. I'm not gonna be your doc no more. So I wanted to make you something.
A retirement bill.
Look at the
Sick call is now closed. USS Indianapolis CPO mess. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
E21 Lake will present Chief McCarthy with the gift. ITC, you've always told us to dance to the sound of our music, right? And to take every opportunity as a learning experience. So the division presents you with the gift. As you know, Chief McCarthy, I've come up under her also. So she was my chief and grew me into who I am also. So our division appreciates you for all the memories you've given us and the music that you made us dance to.
Cleaning stations will never be the same.
Commander-in-Chief Stacy Settles of USS Indianapolis Blue will now present Chief McCarthy with the gift on behalf of the Chief's Mess.
Definitely want to make sure. Thank you for your dedication and service to the Chief's Mess. It means everything.
Thank you. Original Attitude Official, the Bronx.
You gotta read this.
Okay.
Read it.
You know.
I think there's tears on that, isn't there?
I'm crying, right?
Chief Stabenow will now present the reading of the watch.
For 21 years, this sailor stood the watch. While some of us were in our bunks at night, this sailor stood the watch. While some of us were in schools, learning our trade, this shipmate stood the watch. In those years, when the storm clouds of war were seen brewing on the horizon of history, this shipmate stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us were born into this world, this shipmate stood the watch. She stood the watch for 21 years so that we, our families, and our fellow countrymen could sleep soundly in safety, knowing
that a sailor stood the watch. Many times she cast an eye ashore to see her family standing there, needing her help and her guidance, needing that hand to hold through the hard times. Yet still, she stood the watch. Today, we're here to say, shipmate, the watch stands relieved. Relieved by those you have trained, guided, and led. Shipmate, you stand relieved. We have the watch. Bosun, stand by to pipe the side. Our shipmate is going ashore.
ET1 Lake and ET1 Robinson will now relieve Chief McCarthy.
And salute. Chief
Chief
Petty
Petty
Officer
Officer McCarthy, we relieve you.
Ready, two. Thank you, Chief. Right face. Hold on.
Bosun, stand by to pipe the side. This order has been passed down on naval ships from early 1500s through today. Spanish, French, Dutch, and English. Yes, every navy in the world has used the bosun mate call and side boys to bring aboard or send ashore its officers and visiting dignitaries. The bosun will pipe the side as the side boys lay on or lay off the lines used to raise and lower the boarding platform. This was done so the officers and visiting dignitaries would not have to climb aboard using rat lines that the crew used. The ship's master or captain would also extend the privilege and honor to port officials to ensure a good berth for the ship while in its port. It was not uncommon for the commanding officer of a naval ship of the line to order up the jolly boat, 8 strongbacks to man the oars, along with the bosun and side boys to send an old shipmate ashore to his retirement home, ashore never to sail a naval ship again. All hands on deck was passed. The crew fell in at parade rest for muster. The commanding officer would make a speech telling about the retiree service, the great battles fought upon the open seas, the victories, the storms weathered, voyages to strange and distant lands, ports visited that others can only dream about. He would also speak of shipmates left behind. The bosun would stand tall. The side boys and the crew were called to attention, and then the retiree would step to the quarterdeck, salute the commanding officer, and request permission to go ashore. Permission granted, the retiree would step onto the platform, salute the flag they served, and then the retiree would be seated in the stern seats of the jolly boat going ashore. As the side boys lowered away the jolly boat for the bosun's call, the ship's gunner would fire a final salute from the ship's main battery. The United States Navy was the first Navy to provide side honors to its enlisted crewmen. In the early to mid-1800s, enlisted men were holding retirements for their enlisted shipmates. After Civil War, the commanding officer would take part in those enlisted retirements to show that he and the Navy recognized the contributions made by the enlisted men. And still today, we have to stop all engines, lay about smartly, drop anchor, and stand by to pay honor to one of our shipmates. A shipmate going ashore to honor those years served, the guidance, the leadership, the expertise, and above all, the friendship that this shipmate has given these past 21 years. Bosun, stand by to pipe the side. Our shipmate is going ashore. Will the guests please rise and remain standing through the end of the ceremony? Commander Ford will now present Chief McCarthy's Fleet Reserve Certificate. This is to certify that ITC, IWSW, Kamesha L. McCarthy, was transferred from active duty to Fleet Reserves of the United States Navy on the 22nd day of October 2021 after 21 years of service. This certificate is awarded as a testimonial of faith and honorable service. Signed, Larry R. Ford, Commanding Officer, USS Indianapolis Blue.
You've impacted me and all your sailors. We'll always be grateful to you for that. Okay?
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, dear. Appreciate you.
Chief McCarthy will now request permission to go ashore one last time.
Commanding Officer, I stand properly relieved. Request permission to go ashore.
Mission granted.
May we all bow our heads. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Who shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? I pray today for this dedicated and faithful sailor as she retires. We are grateful for the decades of sacrificial service which she offered on our behalf. Kamesha and her family have given themselves for us. Now I pray that the years to come may continue to bring them satisfaction and well-being. Go with them and bless them in every new endeavor. Lord, continue to bless the chief mess, war room, and sailors with strength. Defend us from harm and preserve all that we hold dear, that we may continue to serve our community, our nation, and our world. In your name we pray, Lord. Amen.
Amen. All Chief Petty Officers, man the rails. Chief Information System Technician, Kamesha L. McCarthy, United States Navy, retired, departing. It's become customary following retirement for the family to be piped ashore, honoring them for their contributions to the sailor's career. Navy family, departing. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. On behalf of Ms. McCarthy and her family and friends, we would like to thank you for sharing this special occasion with them. You are also cordially invited to the reception being held here. Navy pride! Navy pride!